simplification. And on one thing we are very, very clear. We have our common goals cast in law, that is climate neutrality by 2050 and at least minus 55% by 2030. How we get there is flexible, pragmatic and adaptable, technology neutral. That's very important because it's a huge transformation. The global economy is undergoing. No one has done it before. So you have to be willing and able to adapt all the time without leaving the sight on the goal that we have agreed together. I think this is very important for that. For this also you need simplification and speed. And I'll give you an example from taxonomy. I think this shows why you can have both goals, stay true to the goal and be faster and simpler. Taxonomy, with the changes we introduced, 90% of the companies are out of the scope, so do not have to deliver on reporting on taxonomy. But what is affected is only 1% of what is actually it's a carbon border adjustment mechanism, 1% that is coming to the market. So 1% of carbon footprint is affected by that, 99% not. And these are points where you see that simplification can be done without letting the goal out of sight. So, yeah.
Let's proceed here on the right, Virginie.
Oui, bonjour, Virginie Malingue du Monde. J'ai deux questions. La première, à propos des États-Unis, vous continuez à en parler comme un allié. J'aimerais savoir ce qui, dans le comportement des États-Unis depuis 6 semaines, vous fait penser que c'est encore un allié, d'où ça sort. Seconde question, pour rebondir sur la question de Thomas, vous avez dit des temps extraordinaires appellent des réponses extraordinaires. On parlait là de défense. Vous avez annoncé que vous alliez convoquer un collège de la sécurité. Mais sur les questions de financement, là, encore une fois, je reviens là-dessus, les États membres vous ont demandé d'explorer des pistes pour qu'il y ait plus de financement. Quelles sont les pistes que vous pensez pouvoir explorer au-delà de ce que vous avez d'ores et déjà annoncé pour les 150 milliards et l'espace budgétaire? Est-ce que c'est le mécanisme européen de stabilité, un emprunt commun, autre chose? Enfin bon, parce que vous nous avez parlé de l'union des marchés de capitaux, rebaptisée union de l'épargne, j'ai oublié, je ne sais plus quoi. C'est la même chose, mais côté public, où est-ce qu'on peut trouver de l'argent et comment? Merci.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge amount that we are offering now to member states or for joint procurement, 800 billion. So that's enormous. And therefore, I think we will focus now on delivering the legal proposals, which is under time pressure. We are under time pressure to do that. We want to do this before the next European Council. And this is where the focus is on. Of course, if there are interesting ideas, I'm absolutely willing to look into this. But the tasking of the European Council was very clear, that we deliver on the national escape clause and that we deliver on the proposal with the new instrument with 150 billion euros in loans for joint procurement. We are looking into the topic of cohesion funds, as you know, and to deliver on the private sector, the Savings and Investment Union, and a different lending pattern of the EIB. Cut, the other part of your question, the United States, they have been for more than 80 years our closest ally. And in the face of adversity, the US and Europe have always been stronger together. And yes, there are differences, but we might have different views on some topics, but if you look at the common interests that we have, they always outweigh our differences. So I think it's important that we work together. We will have our differences. We have to sort them out, but we will have to find common avenues.
Oui, Virginie, vas-y.
Oui, ma question sur les États-Unis, c'était pas une question de savoir si on avait intérêt à être alliés, parce que ça, vous l'avez déjà dit. C'était vraiment, depuis le 20 janvier, qu'est-ce qui vous fait croire dans le comportement de l'administration Trump que ce sont encore vos alliés, nos alliés? Voilà. Est-ce qu'il y a des éléments, des choses qui ont été faites, des choses qui ont été dites, qui vous font encore croire possible que les États-Unis soient les alliés de l'Union européenne, des Européens?
Okay, got your question. Of course, the United States are allies. This does not mean that the pattern that we had the last, well, at least 25 to 30 years, if not longer, that the pattern is still the right one, that the bulk of the defense responsibility lies with the United States and not with all the other allies. We have to do our homework. We have to fulfill our responsibilities. We have to take them on our shoulders. And therefore, the first step with the rearm package is so important, to make very sure that we need really to step up our own defense. Being allies does not mean that there is an imbalance in the responsibility or the burden that has been shared. I was present in 2014 as Defence Minister in Wales when the 2% were agreed. Well, we know today where the figures are, and we know that we will need more than 2%. The Secretary General of NATO speaks of north of 3%. And this is a call that goes to all of us in the alliance, or all those in the alliance. So the European Union really has to step up. The member states in the European Union have to step up. Some have already, have done their homework without any question, but others have not. And then when we're doing this, we should do it in a smart way. Therefore, this double approach, on one hand, as every member state is different, they need the national fiscal space to do what is necessary in their national posture. But on the other hand, we are fully aware that we have domains, and we have identified these 6 to 7 domains, where we need joint procurement, joint action, so that the member states can chip in contracts, multi-annual contracts, for huge topics like an advanced air defense shield, or the missiles, the drones, the ammunition. We all know these topics, where we have to step up together. And therefore, this road is paved. There's a third element, that in parallel, we have to make sure that Ukraine is in a position that it can keep on fighting till we have reached a just and lasting peace. And with the new instrument, the member states can chip in initiatives, for example, like the Danish initiative or the Czech initiative, but they can also procure military capability that then are given to Ukraine, for example. So my plaidoyer is, we are allies, but this means that all allies have to take their responsibilities.